Hello, welcome to the Two Chicks Homestead podcast. We are the two chicks. Yay!
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Aaron, and we talk about homesteading and living on a small piece of land.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 97. Right?
Yes.
97.
Yeah.
I don't remember the date.
May 22nd.
May 22nd. All right. Impromptu, hit the record button. Let's go.
Yep. Well, we're much earlier than usual. You're on vacation this week.
Yes.
So it's, middle of the afternoon.
Yep, middle of the afternoon. Kids have ice cream for lunch. They're ready to go. So we're set.
Well, I mean, they had birthday cake for breakfast. So
yes. And ice cream for dinner last night.
Yes, yeah.
So.
You're on vacation.
Exactly. You gotta have fun.
Right.
Over sugar the kids so they crash and go to bed.
Right. Yep. And then wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which has been the norm lately.
Yeah, I noticed you were awake and playing on social media this morning.
Yes.
At 6 when I got up, so.
Yep.
But it's alright.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep. I mean, yes, it was a very exciting week so far because your car got towed.
Yes. The old Honda is officially gone. We came up with a crazy idea that didn't really work out. So the top end of the car is gone, so the timing chain broke when we went to go start it up. It had been sitting for like 5 months. We didn't check oil before we tried to start it. Got it running for like 15 seconds, and then it shut off. So I'm figuring it's the timing chain, because it didn't pop a hole in the block underneath. But those things are very temperamental to timing issues if they're starved for oil. So we've been trying for like the past 2 weeks to get the thing started. It's been on jumpers and yada yada yada, trying to get it going, charge the battery up, crank front it for a while, nothing. So you and I pushed it over here from the neighbor's yard because it was in his second driveway, pushed it over to our driveway, and then the neighbor comes walking over. He's like, "So what are you doing with Honda?" He's like, I have an idea. So what if I give you $400? How about we haul it out back and we go put some holes in it? I'm like, okay. So that was the initial plan. He gave me the money. We got I got the title signed over to him, so it's officially his and whatever. So, we're literally just going to haul it a quarter mile down behind the house and, I don't know, put 500 rounds in it. Yeah. So, and then the junk people would come get it. Well, he's like, the next morning, when he's sober. When he's sober, comes up with a better idea. He goes, let me go talk to the people and make sure they'll do that. So, he went to go talk to them just to make the junk place to make sure they would actually accept the vehicle with an extra 500 holes.
A few more openings.
Yes. And they said, we'll give you $300 for the car as it sits right now, but if you fill it full of holes, it's only going to be $100. So, okay, fine. So we just decided just to have them come get it. I get my $300. We gave the neighbor $100 back from the $400 he gave us. And the car is now out of our way.
Yeah, because he got the money then from the tow company.
Yes. So
yeah.
That car showed up May 18th, 2019. It left May 20th? 21st.
Yeah.
2024. So almost 5 years to the day.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of the kids sitting in the driver's seat, and it's like, oh my god, the oldest is probably tall enough to drive right now.
Yeah,
it is freaky.
the little one, she was a baby.
I know, she was what, 2?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was kind of fun to get that photo, and I found the old photo that we took when I first got the car.
Yeah. And
I posted them up yesterday. We put them in our Telegram chat too. So. If you're in there, you'll see it. So that's the story behind that. And
the lesson we've learned is that you can't shoot it up.
I know.
Get the same amount of money.
But it would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
It almost would have been worth the $200 entertainment to do it, but then you got to clean up all the glass.
Yeah.
So, had we taken all the glass out of it, probably, just roll the driver's window down so it breaks inside the door, and not worry about the side glass. Get that out. But it's like, I'm not sure I really want to mess with it.
Yeah.
So, I ripped the radio out of it. Still have the Bluetooth radio that was in it. Got everything else out. Pulled the ham radios out of it when I swapped vehicles over, so none of that stuff was in there. The only thing that I left ham radio related in that was an antenna mount, because I'm not pulling the headliner down and dragging that out. They're $10 for a through panel mount, so it wasn't the end of the world. But everything else is out. We're good to go, so I'm content with it.
Yeah.
We also, Friday before my vacation, we dropped the current car, the Nissan that I have, off at the shop. And they did a whole bunch of work on that for us, because I may be a mechanic. I don't trust myself working on my own vehicles because I'm not that kind of mechanic. So it needed to go in for some brake work and air conditioning. So that all got fixed up. We just got home from picking it up from the mechanic, which is, 40 minutes away. It's up by work.
Yeah.
So we dropped that off on Friday. You came and got me up at work on Friday. And we just got the car back today, so we're good to go there. Kind of excited. Didn't expect that repair bill. I mean, it was over $1,000, but whatever. They replaced the blower motor, the AC condenser, the AC compressor, and some hardware on the brakes, because they were making a bunch of noise. But now I think we're set for a while. The next thing on that car is going to be struts on the front, but that's something we can do when we have more funds down the road. So the cheap $3,500 car is no longer a cheap car.
Yeah.
I will never get back what we have invested into that car, but it is what it is. So it's fixed. It's working. AC blows cold. I now can actually use the ham radio in the car instead of having the windows down. The kids can go anywhere in the summer in that car, and it's not a million degrees in there.
Yeah.
So that'll be kind of nice. And the defroster will work when it's raining out and when there's snow on the window, or there's ice on the window, because you need the defroster to clear that up. So that'd be kind of nice. So, and then we got our other big purchase of the week.
Yes, our fridge. Is here. We have a fridge. We're a working fridge now in the kitchen.
Yep.
Been living out of the garage, which hasn't been bad.
No.
I mean, the fridge part worked-ish, so I did kind of
up until the morning that the new fridge showed up.
So I did keep, the things I used daily in there. I had a little jar of milk for coffee, butter, lard.
Yeah, drinks.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Leftovers.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the freezer did not work.
No.
Yeah, I think it was working again, so I had waffles in there, and then the next morning they were like mush. So.
Yeah.
But that story is about a month ago. We called an 800 number for LG because the local place that was recommended did not work on LG, and that was our first red flag.
Yep.
And it sent us to a repair company out of Rockford.
Yep.
And I talked to this guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, I work on LGs. Here's my cost. Pay me half. You can do it over the phone, and then I'll be coming in a couple days." I think it was like that Friday.
Well, yeah, he needed to come down here and check it
right,
first.
because he said, "I cannot do this over the phone."
Yeah.
LG, if you were to tell LG I did this over the phone, I didn't actually see it, I could lose my license. I'm like, whatever. It's fine. We're not in a huge rush. We've got the extra fridge.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah, so the original agreement was he was going to come down here, look at it, and then we would get the authorization from LG and then pay him to order the parts.
Right. So I pay him over the phone. Half of, the cost or whatever, whatever. And then come Friday, like maybe 30 minutes before he's supposed to be here, he calls and says, I got a flat tire. I can't, I don't know when I'm going to get there. How about we do this over the phone? And the first thing I said, was you told me we couldn't.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care, if you trust me, I trust you type of thing. If you know what it is, then let's just do it.
Right.
So he told me, I wrote down everything I had to say to LG, give them all his information so they could email him the authorization. It went fine because he kept saying, if you do this today, it won't be more than 7 days before I get the parts and I can come install it. So I'm like, okay. Hung up the phone with him, called immediately, and got that going. And then I don't remember.
So that was 2 weeks before the event.
Yes.
So when we hosted the event, we had our 2 weeks before, or about 3 weeks before the event, the fridge went out, which is not a huge deal. We have all the backup. I think we've talked about this on a previous episode. So we still hadn't heard anything like the week rolling up to the event, and it's like you were getting ready to call and be like, don't come this week. Well,
and I had told him, I've got too much stuff going on this week. I don't need you here working on a fridge while I'm trying to cook and prep and all that stuff. So I had talked to him that week and said, it'll be next week. How about we just push it next week? And he was like, okay, whatever. And then I think my nerves started to catch up where I wasn't sleeping well because of the event. I was just getting, anxious and thinking of stuff. And I was up in the middle of the night and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to Google his phone number.
Yeah.
And that's when I found all of the reviews that were not good.
No.
And it was like, this is exactly how it's going with us.
Yes.
Some of these reviews. So
you need to give the full story before you do that, because you called LG to see if he'd even ordered the part.
This was after that.
Okay.
I think it was the next day.
Okay.
Where I was like, you know what? Or I think I had texted him the next day and said, hey, I just want to check in.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything? Oh, yeah, it should be here any day.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then I think it was the event or something, and it was like, I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to do anything with it anyway. And then, I called LG to find out if they could tell me if he had ordered the parts and if they knew they were delivered. And I gave them all the information, and they said, we sent out the email on April 17th, and we haven't gotten any order from him.
Yeah.
I was like, really? So I talked to you, and then I sent it, because you're like, call him. And I'm like, I'm going to text him, because I like to avoid phone calls. I don't do well on phone calls.
I'm the same way.
So I'm like, I'm going to text him. So I texted him and said, I just talked to LG. They said you haven't even ordered the parts. It's been a while. I want a refund. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, immediately I get a text back saying, they're lying. And then he calls me. And we were on the phone for a while. And it got to a point where my kids came upstairs because
you were yelling.
I was yelling.
Yes.
And it came to, I had paid him $500. And I finally, just to get some kind of ending, I said, because he was complaining about, well, I deserve something for the service call. And it was like, well, you weren't even here. Yeah. Well, I have to copy and paste and do it. I'm like, whatever. Keep 200, send me 300. Just get out of my life and send this to me. Okay, I'll send you a check by next Friday, which, over
was
a
last week.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting the check, but and it never came.
Yeah.
So finally, we went to the bank.
Yeah, we gave him until midday Monday.
Yes, Monday after.
After he promised us the check was Friday.
Friday, yeah.
So that gave Friday's mail, Saturday's mail,
and Sundays and Monday's.
Anything
mail.
that was rolling around on Sunday coming in Monday, and then we went late afternoon Monday.
Yeah, to the bank. Because we have talked to the police. We have an officer that's a friend that off the record you asked, hey, what can we do? And it was if he had sent us a bad check,
then we could do something. Yeah.
So we went to the bank and started a back charge and had to talk to them, and it was a classic you know, we had enough stuff that we have temporarily gotten the money back, but it's not finalized yet.
It's temporary to where it's in our account, and then we will get a confirmation email in the next 3 or 4 days saying we're fully refunded.
Yeah, or not.
And go from there. So, I mean, this guy, we're not going to name names.
I will tell you who it is if you ask.
If you ask us, we will tell you who it is, but we're not going to put the person on blast.
Yep.
Because that can come back on us. So, reality, watch who you hire if you live in the Rockford area.
Yeah. And it's like, part of me was, you know, when I hung up the phone the original day, it was like, I probably shouldn't have given him my debit card number. But then when I called LG and gave them his information, they said, oh yeah, we have heard from him. So he was in the system. Right.
The day he had the tire blowout is the day you paid him.
Right.
I think.
Yes.
So he was supposed to come down and collect the money at that point.
Right.
And he had the tire blowout. Red flag number one. I get
quote
it.
Unquote.
I get it. Yeah. I get it. But we are also relatively understanding people. If you have issues.
Right. It was like, and then he was like, yeah, I'll do it over the phone. And it was like, okay.
Yeah.
If you trust me to not tell LG.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's just get it fixed.
Yep. So it's a very common problem. Needless to say, we are pretty much done with the situation. We're waiting on our bank to fully refund the money. I don't give a shit if it comes out of his account or if it's coming from Chase. I hope it's coming out of his account.
I hope so.
Because that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because he was like, I don't want another bad review. And I said, I'm not going to write a review. Right. I'll tell people.
Yeah.
If they, you know, if it ever comes up in conversation. But I am not going to waste my time to write a review.
Right.
Because I just want to be done with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to figure out who it is if they're friends with you. I think you posted the actual company.
I did,
name.
Yeah.
But we haven't posted any of this stuff under the main page.
Yeah.
So we've been very hush about this. We've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but we've never put a name out, and we're not going to at this point. I'm hoping the situation is resolved, but either way, we just decided to go buy a new fridge. We tried to do the right thing and spend $1,000 to get it fixed. That didn't work, so we just opted to talk to the local repair company in the area, get a suggestion on the brand to get, and just go get a new fridge. Yes, it's another $2,000. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many options.
Right. It's either we fix this fridge, which has known compressor issues, and have it break again in a year, or we go buy something that can actually be fixed easily by a company who's local.
Yeah.
And who is
recommended.
Very well trusted by many people.
Yeah, because we called them and they said no to LG.
Right.
But all things said and done, when I talked to anybody at LG, they were very nice.
Yes.
So it was, I mean, everyone I talked to there.
Right. And I even called LG and I explained the situation with this guy, and he is officially blacklisted from them. His phone number, his email, the business name, everything.
Yeah.
So he can no longer
supposedly
can no longer order from them.
And that's another thing, is I am not gonna check. I mean, I really don't care.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those, don't fuck with people.
Yeah.
Especially when it's money.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do a job, do the fucking job.
Yeah. It just seems like a lot of work to have a fake business.
Exactly. You know, I don't get it. So,
yeah.
But we're officially done with. Well, we're not officially. We're almost done with this.
Yeah,
thing.
we're farther than we were.
Yep.
Yesterday.
So, but the new fridge is here. It's hooked up. It's working. The old fridge is out in the garage. We're gonna call the local kid who does scrapping and probably just have him come get it. I'd rather. We had to pay $20 to get it moved out of here, which is fine. So it's in the garage. I'll call the kid, tell him to come get it with his truck, and the local, the local scrap kid who's a teenager can get some more money. So, it is what it is.
Yep. Also got our veggie plants.
Yep.
Because my starts never
started.
Yeah. I got peppers and we have the herbs.
Yep.
But yeah, any of the tomatoes, anything else, nothing.
You had a cabbage for like 3 days.
I did. Yeah. But luckily I got cabbage from Ashley when she came down.
Yep.
So I have lots of cabbage plants. But yeah, we have all of our tomatoes, I didn't go too crazy.
No.
So.
No, it wasn't that bad. It's a flat that fit in the size of a decent sized tub.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And I think you said
some of them were from my mom's.
Yeah.
Because she likes the crazy berry cherry plants.
Mm-hmm. The kids love those too.
They are so good. The chickens love them too.
Yeah.
So yeah, their plan this week is to untarp the garden and start tilling.
Yep.
We got to get some grub stuff.
Yes, I will go run and get that tomorrow.
Yep.
So.
And just start getting stuff going.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna use our broad fork, our garden weasel, and we're gonna do it all by hand this year. So.
Well, we did last year.
Yeah, we used the broad fork, but we didn't actually go through and pulverize the dirt.
Right.
So I think
that's a new thing this year.
It's going to take a little bit longer. It's all manual labor, but you know what? You and I could use a little bit of workout.
Well, right. And it's like I don't want to destroy the environment that's in there.
Right.
With a rototiller. Like it feels like we're like pulverizing all the worms and all this stuff, and I don't know. And then the one we used once was leaking gas.
Yeah.
And so that was like, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... I think we did like 2 passes. I'm like, nope, we're done.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
So it's just a pain, to borrow, because we're not going to go buy a rototiller.
No, they're $1,000, and we're going to use it, once a year?
Yeah. So yeah, I like the broad fork.
We bought the broad fork last year. It didn't show up in enough time.
I think it did. I think it's been a couple years now.
Did we use it?
Yeah, we used it last year.
Because I know we used Mike's.
I'm pretty sure we used ours last year.
Okay, so maybe it was the year before we bought the broad fork. So, yeah, that's right. Okay, we bought it 2 years ago, and it didn't show up in time for season, so we had to borrow Mike's. But we used ours last year.
Yep.
And if you guys have a broad fork, make sure you wear steel toe boots. Ask me how I know.
Although I've been known to do it in my Crocs, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I now have a pair of boots that they have a nice big hole in them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I almost caught my toe.
I don't know.
So, but yeah, it's use boots with steel toes.
Or Crocs.
Or Crocs. So, but yeah, it's we'll work on that this week. It's probably going to take us 2-3 days to get that done.
Yeah,
we'll get up
and
early.
I know I've kind of talked about this before, but I am not 100% in this year, so it's, and maybe that's why my starts are dying, is because I just forget about them.
Yeah.
But
I think so. We're going to go way off the rails. Next year, we probably aren't going to do a garden.
Yeah, I think next year we might, if we can, cut one of the IBC bins.
Yeah, we got 2 back there.
Yeah, and maybe do a few gardens in that.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know.
The weeds are getting bad.
Yeah, we need to work on the space in between our garden and the farmer's fence. And get gravel back there or something, because it is just so overgrown, and everything we have done hasn't worked.
Yeah.
And I can't keep up with it with the weed whacker because it is so thick.
Right.
So
it's the only fix that I have. There's a lot of creeping Charlie back there. There's a lot of brushes back there, and we cut everything down one year.
Yeah.
So I think we need to almost douse the stuff. I know you're going to hate me for saying this. We need to douse it all in Roundup.
I don't know if I can.
Or something like that.
I know. I just, if we weed whack it early and get gravel back there, then you can get your blowtorch.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah. So we're talking about getting one of the 20-pound propane tank blowtorches where we can just go through and fire up all the stuff.
Because it's overwhelming, and I look at it and it's like, oh God, I don't even want to do that.
It's a pain in the ass.
It is.
So get it early and keep on it, because I mean, I don't have a problem messing around with that. I can put the 20-pound propane tank on the wagon and just walk along. And
I mean, who doesn't want to burn things? So yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, I don't know if I could not do anything. Yeah. So we might at least do a small raised bed.
Okay.
And just at least have some tomatoes and zucchinis and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we can do that on the tarp. Just leave the tarp down for a year.
Yeah.
And then just
put the bins down.
Put the bins on top of it. Maybe do it with a pallet underneath so we can...
I just want to be able to make it so that
Bobcat.
A truck could get back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have it on the garden and be able to do the Bobcat, because a neighbor does have a Bobcat.
Yeah.
With forks, so we can just move the dirt out, or move the bin out of the way.
Yeah.
If we decide to redo that.
Yeah.
So, or we just broad fork the heck out of the raised bed and call it a day.
Broad fork the raised bed? I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, just go through the top. Yeah, it'll work. It's only be like 2 feet tall.
It's plastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. So yeah. That's... I don't know. We need to redo the rain barrel.
Yes.
Because that's... The pallets under that are kind of scary looking.
Yeah. So we'll get that handled out. We're either going to do block, and we're going to wait until next year to do that. So this will be...
Yeah.
This will be a good year. Next year will be a good year to reassess how we're doing stuff out back and just do it.
Yeah.
Instead of...
I need to make it, because I, for a long time, was garden. Like, that's what got me through the summer, was gardening. I loved being back there. And then I discovered some other hobbies that are kind of pulling me away. And it's like, I just want something that's a little bit more...
manageable.
Yes. It's so overwhelming. I look out there and I don't even want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like... There's just so much
So
stuff.
You're saying we should probably just forget about the big garden and just let that grow?
I don't know. Because it's like I'm afraid to make these decisions while I'm feeling overwhelmed, because maybe it will be fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, either way, I mean, the one garden's always going to stay out there. And that's the original the original medium garden.
Yeah. Yeah, which this year will be sunflowers and pumpkins.
Yeah. So that should work out perfect.
Yep. So that's the garden plan.
Works for me.
Yep. So we're having the cicada year.
Yes.
And we don't have any at our house.
Yes.
Even though I've been promising the chickens.
Shocker, because there's Roundup being sprayed.
Right, yeah. I mean, I guess, looking more into it, I guess it's normal. That we've always seen, like, a couple, but I don't know if we're going to see, like, the big emergence here.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, so we went to Glen Ellen, which is where I grew up, and I have very fond memories of being in the backyard, playing with the cicadas, and... You know, when I was younger, because it's every 17 years. So I think I was probably 8 or so, 9 when the first one.
Yeah.
And then, building them little castles out of bricks in the backyard, and, having sticks and stuff in there. And then seeing them when I was a teenager again. So I wanted to bring my kids over there so that they could at least see them. And we saw quite a few. So it was kind of nice to kind of drive around and see all the shells and cicadas walking around.
Well, you did that when we went to go pick up my car today. So that was halfway going to go pick up my car today. It's like, why don't you guys just stop in Glen Ellen on the way home and go see what you see? Because
I remember in my parents' old house, the house I grew up in, the shells just being like 5 feet from the tree base, just covered. It wasn't like that, but they've only emerged, a week ago or so. So I really don't remember
Yeah, see how it goes. So
yeah, we stopped at Lake Ellen on the way home and walked around. And the kids loved them.
yeah,
I mean, they're so cool. The cicadas. I mean, they're like. It takes you a little bit to realize how big they are.
Yeah.
And that they just crawl, up your fingers. They right away jump on you.
Yep.
And land on you. And they don't bite. They don't sting.
Nope.
They just mate.
Yep. Yeah, and our youngest, who was not shy of anything.
No. She was right away. Picking them up.
So, she's the one that grabs all the toads
worms
and worms.
Toads, yeah. So, yeah, it was cool to see them. I love them.
Well, I'm glad you guys at least got a chance, because I know we are not close to the area, so I'm glad we're able to go get the car.
Yeah.
And you guys, we had the idea to have you guys just stop on the way back.
Yep.
And then I can run home and charge up the device that we used.
Yeah, but they want to go back, because on the way home they're like, we should have brought our bug catchers and our net. It's like, I didn't think about that stuff on the way there.
Well, you guys can go later this week when it's a little bit cooler out.
Yeah, so there's time. They're here for like 6 weeks, so we have time.
Cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Daily drive to Glen Ellen. Yeah. Play with the cicadas.
Yes. But yeah, if you're in the area with cicadas, I think Illinois... There's a bunch of states, but Illinois is the only one with the two.
Yes.
The two broods that came out at the same time, the 13 and the 17. And it won't happen again for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Where they both come out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
But they also say you don't know when the broods will actually happen. I mean, yeah, it's 17, but it might be 16. It might be 18. So.
I mean, I don't know.
Either way. It's still fun.
It is.
The kids will have a blast.
I'm disappointed that we don't have them here, because it was just... It's a neat noise. They're just so cool to look at. We didn't get to find one that was just coming out the shell.
Yeah.
Because they're like pure white when they start coming out the shell before they darken. And it is just so creepy and cool, and I love them. So, we'll have to try again. Yeah.
Well, you guys can make a drive back. I mean, it's, 45 minutes away. It's not that far.
Let me get pizza.
Exactly. Baroni's. Free plug for Baroni's. That's the pizza you want to get.
Baroni's pizza. Not Giordano's. Not the goofy one that puts the big slab. Lou Malnati's is
yuck.
The pits.
Yeah.
Go to Baroni's in Glen Ellen.
Yes. I don't like deep dish. Baroni's is the only deep dish I will eat. It's good.
The crust is like flaky, buttery deliciousness.
Yes.
Yep. Should have got it today.
Well, you still got time till dinner.
No.
If you leave now, it'll be cooked, and by the time you get up there.
No. Yeah, and then the tornado's going to come through, and then I'll be sitting on the side of the road eating pizza. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
That is really a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I think I'll do that.
All right, guys. I think that's all we got for you this week.
All right. See you on the homestead, where something is always growing, eating, or cooking.